In The Silence of the Lambs, Jodie Foster was more troubled by the criticism of her shoes than with the prospect of having her face eaten off. It conveyed the idea that she was lower middle class. It's everyone's greatest fear. It transcends gender, race, and ethnic group. When my friend Dagmar and I were invited to a company potluck, neither one of us knows how to cook. And I said, what can we bring to the potluck? She said, we can bring class. Nobody wants to be invited to a clunker dinner party. And if you are, is it on you or the host? We hear a lot about racism, the haters, and misinformation. Perhaps it's just class warfare repackaged, and being mean is just a cover story for being ungrateful. It takes a little practice to be kind. It often goes unnoticed. If you make being grateful a practice, nobody will notice the shoes you're wearing. It goes to the heart of the matter. Welcome. Welcome to Illinois Bridging Awareness. I'm Stanley Smith. We've been on a journey now for almost 4 years together. Starting during the pandemic as an online group, we all connected and then broke into smaller groups. It's sociology in action. It's hard to keep track of who's who and who's in each group, but we get the gist of it and what's going on in people's lives. On a Saturday call, we've talked about being on the spectrum between being positive and negative, having certainty and having doubts, and being calm and being agitated. Last week, we looked at words we hear ourselves saying in daily conversations. Words like beautiful, harmony, and peace. Are we hearing these words on a regular basis? If so, how is it manifesting in our lives and in the life of the world? And if we're not hearing these words, how can we see that as an opportunity to introduce them into the conversation? My friend Dagmar said she was always seated next to the most difficult person at the dinner party. It often occurred to me that perhaps she was the most difficult person, and the seating arrangement was for her benefit. It's hard to see where we are on the spectrum. There's a new company in the building I work in, the Center for Mad Culture. They're trying to redefine insanity as a lifestyle choice. They want to have it tacked on to the end of the LGB trans queer mad alphabet soup. None of these people actually want to be in the soup together, but we class them in this way to suit our needs. And they're all seated at the table to maintain the status quo of us not being them. We do hear a lot about racism, sexism, xenophobia, but it's all just a euphemism for class warfare. Nobody wants to say anything because it tips our hat to being lower middle class. We all disparage the shrinking middle class. Many of us cling to the social mores of middle class society, but in the process, it's been monetized and the money's all been squeezed out of it. And all we have left is the pretense of it all. In the 1964 novel by Mary McCarthy, The Group, one of the characters lists all the practical things we can do to better our lot. Clean up the house, get some bleach and disinfect the kitchen, scrub the floors, and organize the closets. Nobody wants to do that. We'd rather just complain about how bad things are. We know things are bad and also much good. The good doesn't get much airtime, but we can work on that. The antidote for all this is gratitude. It is very possible we are seated at a clunker dinner party. We don't have to ignore the problem or avoid the hard work. We can have the gratitude in all of it. Slowly, we will see the progress. We can have our fancy bag and our cheap shoes. We won't have our face eaten off, and nobody will notice our shoes anyway. If you'd like to join us at Illinois Bridging Awareness, the Saturday call, it's every Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Time on Zoom. I'll include my email address in the description of this video. I'll be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.